Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Away day show 92. We're back on the evens.
Ooh, 92.
We're back on the evens. International breaks helped us out there. And we're back. And it feels like I said on Monday show, I feel like we're back proper now because internationals are away for a while. Head down, Christmas period.
Sicknesses, hopefully.
Illnesses have gone away, hopefully.
Out the window.
Summer's here.
Some still.
Winter's over there, but summer's here. Summer's here, so everyone's their head down. And it was a quieter weekend in terms of no real shocks to really talk about, but a few things to discuss. And then the major one this week, I was happy with the segments. We've got some very, very exciting segments to come.
Couple of rogue shouts, I think.
In proper Thursday fashion. Just some random shouts in there, so can't wait for that.
Might have like half of the pod and then just Google just to look them up.
A screen top right of like what their face actually looks like, who are these players. There's a little hint of what the segment is to come. Let's fly off to Italy first for a few games here. And I guess two teams in similar sorts of form, two teams that have inconsistent, but I think finding some form recently. We'll start with Atalanta first. They got an important 2-0 win over Venezia away from home. It's a few good games in a row, I think, for them. I think that's what I wrote down. They've been good in Champions League football, but really struggled in the league. I think they lost to Como 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So the last 3 games unbeaten in Serie A. They've obviously got a draw against Arsenal in the Champions League. They won the second game against Shakhtar. So they're in good form, it seems like, in recent times. And they're just knocking their way up the table. Obviously, they had a really shaky start to the season. And I guess the big player in that all is Retegui. He's just...
Man.
He's become the guy right now.
8-8, isn't it?
8-8, yeah, 8-8 Serie A. Top goal scorer right now.
Top goal scorer, yeah.
This guy... He's not young. I think he's 25.
I think he's like kind of mid sort of 20. So it's like for a striker, it's probably like it's into his prime now.
You got to go right now. It's just exciting to see someone different come up because I'll tell you what, it goes to my second point because the front three looks really dangerous for Atalanta now. And you got Lookman, De Ketelaere behind Retegui, but it's good to see someone else in Serie A find the back of the net because I feel it's been Lukaku, Vlahovic, and Martinez for the last sort of 2 and a bit years. So
maybe the occasional like Osimhen kind of
shout. Yeah, Osimhen when Napoli won a shit out.
But that was a one-off. Like,
one season.
So now it's Vlahovic and hopefully we can get Dovbyk up
get back in the goals.
But you know, Roma don't really look like it at the minute. So they're just a lost cause, I think, Roma. But yeah, Atalanta, they've been good. And I think they had I think it was a 5-0 a few weeks ago before the international.
Yeah.
So that's sort of kickstarter, and Retegui's been the one all year that's kind of just kept them there and thereabouts. And I think their slow start is sort of it's had to do with Coop Miner's leaving. I think he was such a big part of their team.
Absolutely.
So they've had to sort of figure that out. But yeah, that front three with Lookman, De Ketelaere, Retegui. I mean, Lookman can probably. I thought he was good against Venezia, but he can get better. He can lift. The Ketelaere, I don't think's really started, to be honest.
He's probably been the weakest of them all.
Yeah. And I spent the most money on him. So
that sums it up, doesn't it?
Retegui might be the Serie A signing of the season.
And because it's an inter like league signing as well, it means a lot.
Yeah.
Like to go from Genoa, I think.
Genoa, they're like second last.
So from the bottom, and we didn't see much of him to all the way to one of the competing European sides. And a side that's really competitive in Europe as well. Like, they're on the season in the Champions League. They might just make a quarterfinal, like be that Dortmund or just...
Europa League last year, you reckon? They might just be that sneaky kind of...
I just back them in a bit. Because I just think the problem has been goals for them. And that's why I wrote down here, 10 goals in the last 3 games, including that 5 goal result. They sort of turned it around. And I think at their home ground, Atalanta, so Arsenal... shit themselves there. It's a really tough place to play.
Yeah.
And if Retegui keeps going, and even if you just go to the tour front with Lookman, that's a real dynamic combination there.
I think that's
that's a dangerous side with
Still
Derone holding it together. Scamacca's still there.
Yeah.
We obviously talked about Kolasinac a few weeks back and how he just reinvented himself at the club. It's a misfit bunch again.
I think you
see with
said
Monaco it works. It's going to work here with Atalanta as well.
And they got a coach that if you're a top manager of a top club, you wouldn't want to go against him because he's just got that like underdog kind of way about like the way he manages.
Oh yes, it reminded me of Simeone.
Yeah,
like in terms of like there's a chip on his shoulder for no reason.
For no reason,
but it always feels like that.
Yeah,
and he might not be in our top 10 managers list, which is in probably 5 or 6 weeks' time from now, so it's close. He might not be there, but geez, in my thought process.
He'd have to be in the conversation. He'd have to be, considering Atalanta won a trophy. They beat Liverpool. They beat a Leverkusen side that didn't lose to anyone.
And never lose.
Never lose.
They beat never lose.
They beat some big Serie A teams last year. I think they were relatively competitive against Inter, and I think they would have beaten Juve in a couple of games. Besides the cup,
but I said in the cup final, were they not?
Yeah, they lost that. I mean, how they lost that, I'll never know. But
to Milik as well.
To Milik, yeah, legit. But yeah, they're slowly getting there, which is good to see, because I mean, Serie A, it's quite even sort of from throughout the whole league.
It's 6 points off the top.
I think from 3rd to like 11th, it's like 6 points. So
I would be surprised.
We got the championship.
I've got a key state about the championship coming up later on.
Oh, okay.
Because that proves how good that league is. But it is giving that vibe, isn't it?
It's close. It is.
I'm going to keep saying this until something happens or I'm proven wrong, but I do not trust Napoli on top of the league, right? That is the most dodgiest thing I've seen this season. Napoli top of the league. It just
feels like they're going to burn out.
The Conte effect, thing, surely.
It feels... I mean, it was close on the weekend. They only won 1-0. So.
We could... Juventus 1-0. Milan won... Inter 1-0. Milan 2-1, I think. Or
2-1, 3-1.
And then Napoli 1-0. Like, the big teams didn't really...
Yeah, maybe I think it was more probably just international break.
We know that feel.
I think there was a lot of games on the weekend were just like that.
Well, across every league, I think that's why there's not much to talk about this
week.
Besides
Bundesliga, to be honest, they just can go for it.
Yeah, but Bundesliga...
It's goals every game.
Just go for it.
We did top 10 defences. I don't think there'd be one. Maybe Leipzig, because I said about 2 goals.
Yeah, Leipzig again now. But in 2 weeks' time, you never know with them. But that was said of that game, and I just want to touch on that because Atalanta's been a team that I've kept in my eye. I really enjoy watching how they go about it, but they were being very impressive. As I said, the big teams only won by 1 goal. Much going on around, other than for Fiorentina. It was probably the only team across the top divisions that really put a team to a sword. It is Lecce, bottom, 6-0.
Oh, maybe Marseille against Montpellier.
Which we'll talk about later. That was 5.
Against training cones, essentially. But
you get that in league on every third week, though.
Fuck, they were bad. We'll go on to that, but Jesus, they were bad.
That's criminal. They
were shocking.
Fiorentina landed a knockout blow. It felt like these two teams were the two teams that, again, they're 5th and 6th, but they just have an ability just to be there and around just in case a Juventus falls off or a Napoli capitulates. And there was goals galore in this game. Corpani double. And I think Cataldi also had a double as well in there. Less about the goals, more just about one. Like, this was really, again, similar to Atalanta, really, really good. Just a great team performance. Because, again, you can only beat what's in front of you.
Exactly.
And they did that to a top level in this game.
And to do it like that was even more impressive. I know the first 2 goals, Lecce, were just stupid. Like, I think the second goal, the keeper just fucking parried it literally into the middle of the penalty box.
Straight into the penalty box.
But I mean, this is more just like everyone loves seeing Fiorentina do well because of De Gea, right? Like, literally,
the revenge arc is there.
Literally, this man's gonna get top 4 with this team at the moment. So it's good to see these surprise teams come out of nowhere. We're seeing it with Mallorca at the minute as well.
That's another big one to talk about.
A couple of teams in the Prem as well. So it's good to see these teams doing well where we don't know too much about them. But if they keep going like this, I'll happily keep,
backing them in.
Not just watching the little 3-minute highlights, but
give him 20 minutes of my day.
I'll give 20 minutes of my life to De Gea. So
they've gone now unbeaten last 4 games. They've got wins versus Lazio and Milan. It's all looking a little bit more put together now. If you're because I'm pretty sure their new manager as well, if I'm not mistaken, come the start of the season as well. So they're looking much more settled.
I hope they keep doing this because I had them as my surprise team. You remember, I had them as my surprise team because my La Liga and Bundesliga ones are just fucking dreadful.
I cannot remember who I had as my surprise.
Was it Como you had with Fabio?
It might have been. Oh, but saying they've got a few decent...
They've been doing all right. For a newly promoted team, like, they've been pretty good.
I feel like the Serie A is just starting to wake up a little bit. Like, look at I want to bring up this later quickly before we move on to the next.
It's all pretty really congested.
Bunched, right? So
there's no real favourite.
Bologna's got 1 win.
6
draws and sit 12th. Como exact same points with only 2 wins. So, like, and 3 draws.
That's mad, that Bologna one.
That is mad. 6 draws. They haven't scored any goals, but that's probably the developing.
Yeah. They've been all right defensively.
They're unbeaten in the last 6 games, though.
Yeah.
We can't really lose. Lost 1 game all season, so it sums it up. Torino and Udinese had dropped back to where they probably are going to move to.
Yeah.
But Roma continue to be
Paul Palmer. They're slowly dropped a little bit.
We had also high hopes.
They've lost that little bit of flair, I think. So hopefully it comes back. But still, I mean, it's all pretty close. Even Venezia, I know they got hammered by Milan, but they've been all right. They've been relatively competitive. So
they're 9 points off 5th, and they're bottom of the table. I know only 8 games, but the Premier League, it feels like the team's already relegated.
It's already decided.
It feels like it's already over. And at least it's very, very competitive. So yeah, Napoli, as we stand, Napoli 19 points on top, Inter on 17 points, Juve on 16, 4 wins and 4 draws, 1 goal conceded.
Inter have lost. My bad.
Inter have lost 1, Napoli have lost 1, Milan lost 2, Fiorentina only lost 1.
Who would you have as your favourite? Would you still have Inter? Would you give it?
I would still have Inter.
It's not very. They haven't. I mean, they were pretty good against Roma. They had a lot of chances.
I was going to say that was probably the most complete performance, and Lautaro scored and a worldie at that. So it gives me that confidence that maybe he might start clicking. I want to see obviously Champions League. We're calling this on Wednesday, so Champions League coming up. I want to see what he does tonight and how he can impact that game. But if he's back,
he's slowly getting there. It feels slowly.
It feels like it's gone from him just getting touches to.
It's more their whole team, to be honest. Because they got to get him the ball, and in some games they really haven't. Man's doing the graveyard Dovbik role in there.
Roma capitulation. That's something you don't want to be a part of that club right now. Let's quickly jump to the championship before we do our first segment. The only big one to touch on was the derby, which I don't know how it's a derby, but it's a derby.
I was trying to look it up.
I don't think. Maybe they just hate each other.
The atmosphere was pretty.
It was balancing
mental, though, wasn't it?
Luton and Watford. And Watford were flying until this game. I think they lost actually last night, as we've recorded. So they lost 2 in the bounce. I think they had Leeds last night, lost 2-1. So 2 losses in a row. Luton though made a statement win, 3-0. Again in a derby or rivalry game, really really big for them, and it was. The familiar faces cutting up, and you got Jacob Brown wraps up the 3 points, Carlton Morris to the header back post, and then Jordan Clark, someone who was pivotal to their promotion now 2 years ago. Gets the ugliest goal.
I love the way he celebrated.
He was going off, and I was like,
"That's my goal! What a goal!" My screamer
and it rolled into the net, and he was going nuts. But you could tell it meant a lot to this team.
Yeah,
and I'll hear your thoughts on this because a few weeks ago I was like, "Well." Rob Edwards' rumours about him being sacked from the fans. And look at the players really wanted this for him. Bang
on. I was going to say exactly that. That was a performance that said, "Oh, we love this manager," and rightfully so. I love Rob Edwards. He's such a good coach. Last year was ridiculous. The fact that they were even remotely close to avoiding relegation. This year, I just think it's just sort of what happens with the Premier League. It takes time to adjust to the championship. It's just championship's such a hard league. It's probably the hardest league in the world. I think it's widely regarded as that. So, I mean, you can jump so quick. Like you can go from 14th to 4th in 3-4 games because it's all so close. So, I think Luton are still mid-table, maybe a bit lower, but again, it's still a long, long way. They just need to sort of stabilise this year.
Stabilise is the key word. They hadn't won in 3 games. They get that big win. They jump to 18th now, so 11 points. But again, a win gets you around the playoffs, and that's sort of
you just gotta
where the league's at.
Win no matter what. Doesn't really matter. Performances don't really matter.
Yes,
the championship because it's all so close.
Just get the results.
It doesn't matter. So, but yeah, I'm happy for Luton. I'm happy for them.
Oh, it's ruined it because last night happened. But prior to last night, when I was making my notes, no team had won 2 games in a row. In the whole league. But Leeds last night once they've gone and won 2 in a row. That's the championship.
Mental.
No teams put
not even Sunderland.
No, Jesus. 2 successive wins. You got Burnley draw win, Sunderland draw win, West Brom draw. They're falling off big time. Haven't won in 4 games. They're really struggling. Oxford have gone and drawn 5 on the trot. This league is chaotic. It is so chaotic.
There's always a surprise every few days. It feels like.
Yeah, with how
not even in a week, every few days, it feels like there's
someone else popping up. So it feels like Leeds have taken a bit of a scruff the neck. The league Because when you think back to that Sunderland game a few weeks back, they basically had that one.
Basically, yeah. But
So
you can't trust. You still can't trust them.
you
just can't trust them.
The team outside the goalkeeper was great for the last sort of 4 games. So that's positive for them. Sunderland just
hanging
up
about
a little bit.
Yeah.
West Brom for me has been disappointing.
Burnley are still.
I think they're going to get better and better as
Yeah.
the season goes on.
Which is mental considering all the players that they've lost. Yeah. But
Scott Parker, championship
yeah.
specialist. He's like Lukaku of the championship.
He is, yeah. He is.
That Lukaku analogy should live on.
I think it will. But I think for Scott Parker, I think if he was to get this team promoted, it would be his best achievement ever, considering some of the Fulham teams that he's coached in Bournemouth.
It's better than that Bournemouth team.
Yeah.
By a long way.
Even
that
Fulham side was very good.
Stacked.
So, and this side's lost.
Yeah.
Everyone good besides, I don't even know, Brownhill. He's still
Brownhill
there,
stayed.
you know.
And I think Esteve.
And obviously the keeper, Trafford,
yeah. And he's never. I'm not sure what to think about Trafford anymore.
Don't know. He had the good performance against Leeds.
Yes.
To be fair, where they got that win. So
I just don't trust him. He's
it's Melier vibes.
Yeah, it is Melier vibes. Him, Muric, and Melier all the same keeper. I swear they will give you 2 chances a game if the opposition.
Muric, for sure.
But there you go. That's to the championship roundup and Serie A from the weekend. Let's go into our first. So let's go into the rogue one first. While we got the rogue one. We got the retention of the viewers. Let's go into this. I was excited about this because I thought it'd be a good segment. And then again, like most people, and then I realised I don't know enough about football that I can make a team here.
Yeah,
I went and said, let's make a breakout players combined 11.
Yeah.
And in classic Preston fashion, I couldn't find enough defenders, so I went 3 at the back.
Oh, okay. I went very attacking. I went 4-4-2, but like it's the midfield 2 is
bit all over the place.
Well, yeah, one is it doesn't play centre mid. It's more just very attacking.
I like it though.
But it's
What is the reason some of these players stand out and they break out is because
this is a Bundesliga side I got. There's defending.
I
we'll concede 30 goals in a month, but we'll score 90. So,
yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I try to make it realistic, but I don't think this team would do well if it went on the pitch. It's still attacking.
Yeah, I think my forward line would be great, but defensively
worrying. Let's go like sort of block by block. So keeper first. And then we'll do defences after that.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, you go first and I'll follow.
So in goal, I've got Iñaki Penna for Barca.
It's a good
just
shout.
with Stegen being out for pretty much the whole year, I think it is. I think it's more that he's going to get his chance. Now, goalkeepers I struggled with. I was thinking like the Napoli keeper because Mere's injured. But I think Mere's going to come back soon because it's just an abductor. And he's kept a couple of clean sheets in a few games, but he won't play.
Yeah.
Whilst Penna's going to get the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if he's to stay number 1, he's going to be doing well because Szczesny's there now.
Playing
so, but yeah, so far though he's been fine. Barca haven't had an issue with him in goal. So
no, he's been good. They keep some clean sheets. Yeah. I went our good mate for a few weeks, but I went I think it's Zion Suzuki from Parma in goal.
Nice.
Probably one of the few keepers that are not just the same keeper. That's the thing with keepers; it's hard to have a breakout because most of them are like still established in goal. So for me, it's someone that sort of popped up on my radar. He's made some good saves in some games. He has made some awful mistakes as well, but he has
Napoli springs to mind.
Yeah, very quickly as well. But he's made an impact to me, and whenever I watch him, he's been solid. And for a 24-year-old, pretty young for a goalkeeper. So you never know, mate. Might have a big move in the next few years if he keeps it up. Yep. So I want Suzuki in goal for me. Yep. Your back 4.
So my back 4. So right back, I've got Savona from Juve.
Good shout. Very good shout.
I feel like I had to get a Juve player in here because of like how good they've been in the league defensively. I know they had the pretty awful performance against Stuttgart overnight. Yeah. But still, he's been really good for them. Only like 21 years old. Was playing Serie C last year, I think. Yeah.
Oh, gee, wow.
So
okay.
The fact that he's come in, Mosses trusts him.
Yeah.
He's done really well. My back 2 is Comuso from Fiorentina.
You okay?
And I've got Lekeba from Leipzig.
So close to having him in.
Both been really good. Both very young. I know Lekeba played a lot last year, but it feels like this year he's sort of elevated his level.
Yeah,
and Leipzig's defense has been a joke.
Yeah.
And then Camuso's just come in, 19 years old, losing Milenkovic to Forest.
Yeah.
Him coming in, and then, Fiorentina are up there in the table, so which is pretty good. And then I've got Tom Roth from Berlin.
Wow.
Union Berlin, playing as a sort of
left. Because
it's Roth, but with an E at the end.
Yeah, so I thought it was Roth there.
Roth, eh?
So I had him in my team originally, but then I had to get someone else in. But yeah, that's a good shout because Union are flying.
Yeah, because he's playing as like a left kind of wing back, left mid kind of thing.
His heat map's crazy.
Yeah, his heat map's all over the place, but he's up and down that left hand flank, and I think Union Berlin have only conceded a couple of goals, so
they've been really good.
They've been good, especially last year. They were borderline relegation. So
were they there? No, they weren't. They just avoided the playoff.
Just avoided it, I think. But yeah,
but they were awful.
They were awful. Champions League and
they were
shocking, shocking.
So
but yeah, that's
the bounce back's real.
That's my rogue back four.
Yeah, but the more I look at it, the more it sounds ridiculous. I went a back three. I went Rico Lewis right centre back. Nice. Because he sort of plays midfield right now for City. He can play right. So I put right centre back. A bit of a cop out. I probably could have put either Lukubi or that Roth in as well. But I feel like I have to put Rico Lewis in. He's going to have to play most of the season.
He's gotten a lot of opportunities so far this year. So.
And I think this will be his first full season where, like, I thought the attention would be on to Oscar Bob, but he has that massive injury. Then Rodri goes out, and now it's on to Lewis almost jump in and play this classic right back central midfield role. So I think he's gonna, and he played really well in the weekend, I thought, against Wolves. So I was impressed with that. So I whacked him in there. And again, I had to get some sort of Premier League presence. I didn't have many Premier League players in this team. And then the two other centre backs, I went Nathan Zeza from Nantes. Who are mid-table.
I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of him.
21-year-old. Again, I was looking through, I was thinking like, I got him to pull something out of my bag, and this is my Maximilian Mitchell stat of the season. I'm going to put it on the table here. They've played some good football, Nantes. They're around that sort of top half. Whenever he's played, looked really solid defensively. He averages, I think, the 7.4-ish match rating, so for score-wise as well. No errors yet. And it seems to be that if Nantes going to get points this season, it's defensively orientated. So I'm backing him in. Again, have I seen much of him? Have I looked at the stats and said, this guy looks good?
This guy looks good. Yeah. Get him in.
So I'm going to keep an eye on him to make sure he does well this season. Yeah. And then Diogo Let at left centre back from Lille. Again, I went to in my bag for the French league here.
I like it, yeah.
Solid enough. No one really stood out to me amongst the major leagues. He's a left-sided central defender, so I thought I'd whack him in there. And he's someone as well who I think tackles and recovery numbers are ridiculously high. I think that for 3.5 tackles, I think 5-6 recoveries a game. So in terms of ticking those boxes, doing that, some of the top centre backs in the world. So I whacked him in there, left centre back.
Very nice.
There's your rogue picks.
So what's your formation? Sorry,
I've gone with the Preston 3. The Preston 3-4-1-2.
Okay,
the 3-4-1-2.
Nice. Right? I like it.
It's rogue. It's rogue positioning.
It's good. No, that was good shouts. Do you want me to do my right wing and left? Because I'm doing 4-4-2.
Okay, I'll do my right wing, left wing
as
well.
So my right winger, I've got Minter. I put Minter in there. I think he's had a really good start to the year. Again, the end product isn't there, but there's a lot to be excited about. My two centre mids, I've got Morgan Rogers in. I know he's playing as a second striker to Watkins or Duran, but I feel like I had to get him in. He's been so good this season. And I've got Casido as well. Yeah, Barca.
That's the guy.
That's
the dude in this team.
The first thing I did when this came out,
whacking
Barcelona. Just the youngsters that have been playing.
Casido.
And Casido was the first one because I think he's had was it Valencia where he scored and played really well.
He did really well in that game.
And then my left winger, I've got Bino Gittins.
Okay,
Dortmund.
So very similar then. So I went Bino Gittins on the left.
Yeah.
Fantastic Champions League performances.
Yeah.
I went Casido, and then I went Nico Paz.
Nice.
The loanee at Como.
Nice.
He's been really good. Their recent turnaround, I'm going to credit to Nico Paz.
I had a look at him,
Really impressive. The numbers are starting to back. He got a goal and assist.
I think it was.
Previous. And he's got 4 goal contributions in the last 7 appearances. So he's really showing up and really excited to see how he goes this season out there at Como.
Yeah.
And then on the right, I went Bradley Barker, who sort of broke out at the Euros, but I feel like this is his team. I've said it a few times. This is becoming PSG's his team. No longer Mbappe. Dembele's a bit washed. I'm backing in Barkle, and he's stood up big time already. So he's my right winger.
Very nice. My 2 strikers, I've got Rategi.
Yes.
Yeah, we spoke about him. He's been on fire this year. And I've got my guy, Mamush.
You had to get him, Mamush.
Had to get him in. He is fucking... The season he's having is ridiculous. I think he's got like 13 goal contributions.
I think it is. He was the
He's
first
got like 4
to
assists, 9 goals, I think it is.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
he was
just,
the first to break the 10 mark.
Yeah, which is a joke. So...
Bro's a weapon in front of goal.
Cooking right now.
I'm the exact 2 front 2, but my number 10 in behind them is another favourite of us here, Enzo Milo at the number 10.
I wanted to get him in, but...
He was fantastic in last night's goal versus Juve.
Yeah, he was unbelievable.
I think he got a France call up.
Oh, did he?
Like in the last break. I saw some clip of him and Elise hitting top bins, and I'm like, they're my boys. There they are. They are. He's been... I've seen him a million times, but the way he just finds pockets and he just finds... That dribble against Real where he should have scored, someone should have scored.
Even the one yesterday where the keeper saved it, I think.
Like, my God, he can't stop this dude when he gets his head down and he gets into those tight spaces. So, yeah, the front line, obviously, Rategi speaks for itself. Mamush, I can back you in there. That's your call. You're one of your best calls of the time. You went early on him and he nailed it. Yeah, and Milo behind those two would be fabulous to watch.
Yeah, he's got to be up. In terms of dribbling, I think he's right on par with Musiala and Wirtz for sure. Particularly Musiala. Because he's probably the better dribbler.
And I love watching Xavi Simons play, but I think he's almost overtaken him in terms of like ball control and tight space dribbling. Yeah. It's second to none.
Ridiculous, yeah.
Do you want to run over your team in totality this time?
So I've got Iñaki Penna in goal.
Yeah,
I've got Savona, Camuso, Lucaba, and Rothe as my back 4. I've got Casto, Rogers as my midfield 2, with Minter and Bino Gittins on the flanks, and then I've got Rategi and Mamush through the middle.
Absolutely love it. Yeah, I went Suzuki in goal. Diogo Let, Zeza, Lewis at the back, Casido, Paz, and Enzo Milo as a midfield 3, I guess, if we really want it. And then the front 4. I go front 4. Jamie Barno Gittins on the left, Bradley Barcola on the right, and Mamush and Rategi leading the line. Bagging goals for fun.
Yeah, that is scoring a lot of goals. In both,
a lot of goals in these teams.
Defensively,
it's going to be a Casido masterclass for us to keep any clean sheets.
Iñaki Penna and what's his name?
Poor Suzuki, red card. He's going to come out sweeper keeper in my team because Rico Lewis is going to be at right wing somehow. So he's going to be 2 at the back. He's going to come sweeper keeper and snap someone in half. So I can't see it much working. But hey, it's a bit of fun.
2 fun teams. I like it.
That
was good. I enjoyed that. That was good.
It was a challenge, that one. Probably the first real challenge of the season to make.
Transfer market was cooking.
It was easy in the transfer
positions and play.
Get us to the top 10s. Yeah, get us the easy stuff. All right, let's go across to Spain. And we'll start the negative stuff. Valencia in all sorts of trouble.
Jesus.
Las Palmas got a fantastic 3-2 win. First game for their new manager.
Yep.
And got to the line. In the end, probably convincingly second half. They had not a sniff of it in the first half, but they rode their luck. They got through that tough bit, and then second half
killed them.
Out the races quick, killed the game off. A late consolation goal for Valencia makes it look better than it is, but you've got to be worried for Valencia now.
Big time.
They're a real mediocre club. Big club with mediocre players.
Yeah, it's a big club to be relegated if that happens. They're just god awful at the minute. I mean, they are just absolutely shocked. I mean, they start off the game well. They should have scored in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah, straight away.
They should have scored. But again, they get the penalty. They start off all right. But then Las Palmas just grew into the game, scored a decent opening goal to get them back in. And their bench loves it. They were like hugging the manager. It was like 1-1.
They wanted it. They wanted this game.
They wanted it bad. And then seeing guys like sort of Fabio Silva and, I mean, Januzaj, oh my God.
I didn't know he was there.
He was reincarnated. You see some of the balls he was playing?
Some of the balls he was playing was ridiculous.
I was like, where's this guy been? He's been on hiatus for like 4 years. My God. But yeah, some of his passing was really good. Ollie McBurney coming on and being an absolute shithouse when the fight started.
Yeah,
I was pissing myself when that happened. Of course, Ollie McBurney was the one. I know, that's the weirdest transfer I've ever heard of.
FIFA transfers.
Literally. Just some random FIFA one. But yeah, I mean, it's a much needed win to get them off the bottom. Mm-hmm. So that's a psychological edge, I think, for Las Palmas to win that. But for Valencia, I mean, fucking hell. Jesus.
How bad can
they are shocking.
Because we've seen Sevilla be around that place, but they at least showed signs.
Yeah. This
This
team.
Valencia team. Because I look at the lineup and I'm not like I'm claim to be some football big biography and know every player and so, but I don't reckon I made the names. I got to be honest with you. I think I know enough.
I only
players.
know the goalkeeper.
Yeah, and
I wonder why.
But even then, though, some of the parries
I know, the parry for the first goal, I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Allison, don't.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Please.
Don't leave us. But I look at this team and the fans get on their back really quickly as well.
They show up every time. Like it's always pretty much like full
house, but they're playing some absolute god awful football.
It's
like,
shocking.
it is really, and there's a lot of younger talent there. It's just though not refined. It's just a lot of
This is a club thing. It's not a manager thing or a player thing. It's something within the club at the minute. Just not right.
There's not enough.
It hasn't been right for a long time. To be fair, they've been poor for a good couple of years now.
I can't remember the time when they were really, really competitive.
Yeah, like this should be a team along with Sevilla as well. That should be
that's your fifth,
fourth,
sixth,
fifth, sixth.
Yeah,
you know, maybe even the occasional third, like the surprise, like
to
Bilbao. Maybe last year they get a trophy.
Yeah.
But yeah, both teams, but particularly Valencia, with the way they're going at the moment, just shocking. Really, really bad.
And so they're much needed for Las Palmas. They get their first win, I think, in 20-something games.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's a really long time since they got a win, so that's massive for them.
Which is crazy, because every time we talk about them, like which was against like Real and Barca, they seem to actually do it right. Yeah.
They're one of the tougher teams in terms of they make games as scrappy and ugly to watch, but the fact they hadn't got a win
attacking
yet.
threat. Like Fabio Silva was at Wolves. Okay, he wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't anything really, but again, still a decent talent from Portugal. Januzaj was,
I'm sure this is his first appearance.
It had to have been.
I don't think I've seen him this season. We covered a fair bit of the Las Palmas game.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen him play this season.
When the commentator said Januzaj, I was like,
his
what?
brother? My cousin? I thought you were dead. Mate, David Moyes knew. He saw the vision, you know.
I know, he knew.
9 years ago.
That man is going to cook Valencia in 5 years' time, 6 years' time.
Forget Old Trafford. He'll do it at the Valencia Stadium.
Valencia Stadium, yeah.
He'll cook him. And cook him he did.
With the relegation battle. Oh, man.
Big relegation.
Fourth from grace. We could do like a fourth from grace 11. Januzaj
Wasted
in there.
talent 11.
Wasted talent 11. Dele Alli in there.
Oh, gee. There could be a fair few
I
could think about.
Could be a shit house of a team, to be fair.
God. You know what? That could be a shout for next week or something. We could get them there.
Maybe, yeah.
Wasted talent 11. There you go.
That could be interesting.
I'll tell you what, who's not wasting their talent is Mallorca, because in the battle of two teams that have been the high flyers, Vallecano and Mallorca, actually probably a game where they both showed their level. It was a lot of chances and no one wanted to score a goal.
Yeah, particularly Mallorca. Jesus.
Especially
chances?
second half. They were just like peppering that goal. Marici again, the veteran, the lead. He always seemed to pop up for a big goal. He came to head through the pivotal head in the 76th minute to score the winner 1-0 over Vallecano. I think Vallecano were unbeaten in 5.
Yeah, they've been all right. I had them in my relegation, I think.
Yeah,
so
I think I had them there as well. So
kind of hoping, no offense.
We need a generational fall off.
Yeah, kind of hoping we need an Almeria fall off, you know.
No more wins, my friend. No more wins. Just draws.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, funny old game. A lot of chances. Navarra almost scored in the first few minutes as well. He hit the upright. Marici also had many chances. Camelo had a lot of chances. And Navarra again later on. It was just chance after chance after chance. And the commentator said it in the recap. He's like, it felt like a game where no one's going to score.
Yeah.
But a good team scores in that game. Yeah. A massive 3 points for them because they sort of now separate themselves.
Six.
I think they're now sitting six, I believe. But it feels like the league have played 10 games now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's not like the season's just started.
Now it's starting to take shape for sure.
They're above Betis by 2 points. Osasuna, Vallecano, or below them. Celta Vigo, Sociedad.
So it's slowly climbing.
Can anyone close them? And they're equal with Athletic Club. 1 point behind my dark horses, Villarreal.
Yeah, that's a great call.
I'm really happy with. They're doing very well.
Considering the players and stuff that they've lost, like the manager and stuff they lost, that's a really good call from you.
So, I gotta be honest, I'm really impressed with Mallorca.
They've been very good. I think I had them. I don't think I had them in relegation, but they were definitely in my thinking.
The thoughts, because again,
last year they were, besides the cup final, which they made,
they were
dodgy in the league. Very sceptical.
When I think of Mallorca, I think of inconsistency. I think of, pretty sure they beat one of the big boys. Maybe it was Atletico at home.
Was it Madrid?
Yeah, or something like that. They beat one of the big boys. It was one of them, yeah. But then they lost the day, like a few weeks after, the days after that, and we're like, it doesn't really count for much. But then they went their cup final.
Because they're hard to play at home. I mean, Madrid only just beat them.
Yes.
I think 2-1 or something. Yeah. 1-0 or something. So.
That
was one where Mbappe was hogging it.
Yeah,
and I think it was 2-1.
Pass the ball, yeah. So again, another team like Las Palmas that are difficult at home. What we're seeing is the consistency coming, and to 28 more games. Like we're basically a quarter of the season in.
Yeah. And
they're sitting quite nice in that position there. So
you're right though. Who can? I mean, I know there's still a lot of points to play for, obviously, but you just don't trust any of the teams below them to go on a consistent run.
Other than
Sociedad, like Girona, it's just going to be Girona.
Yeah,
up
and down.
Yeah. I can't really see anyone. I mean, Vallecano are gonna. I think they'll drop. You know, there's a high chance of them dropping down and sort of staying thereabouts.
Yeah.
Osasuna.
I don't know.
I think they were the one. I think they had like a minus goal difference, but they were fourth a few weeks ago.
They're still negative and we sort of said
goal
difference.
I don't think that's sustainable.
That can't be possibly a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Celta there and about.
But they might just be a Girona type. Obviously not close to the league.
Not quite.
But in terms of Europe, they'll be thereabouts. Because
what wins in the last 5?
At home, I don't know many teams that are going to take points off them. If you take points at Mallorca, I think it's a big hell of a result.
A big result, yeah. Keep the home form, and just the way they've started, you almost can bank yourself
because you'll win a few here away, home here and there.
And it's a league where some of the bottom teams are gettable.
Very gettable, yeah. Very gettable.
Look at this.
Anyone can beat Valencia at the minute. So
look at this. Like Valladolid is much higher than we ever thought. They're on 8 points, but you got Las Palmas 6, Valencia 6,
Leganes around there,
Getafe,
they can beat those teams for sure. If they play the way that they do at home, 100% they can beat those teams.
You could be that little top half side.
That little sneaky.
Little dark horse from La Liga this season.
I hope so.
We hope a few stick this season rather than miss. Quickly to Germany before we get into our next segment. And again, a lot happened, but at the same time, not much. I guess the other one that we should touch on is Leverkusen won the battle of the excitement machines. 2-1. Again, Mamush got on the score sheet in that game there. Obviously, Bayern batters Stuttgart. That's just what Bayern are. And then obviously Union 2-0 over Holstein Kiel. I think I want to touch on Frankfurt and Union Berlin, but maybe do it when they win. This is Frankfurt when they win a game of football, so we can really reinforce the fact. But Union Berlin doing their thing, but also RB Leipzig 2-0 at Mainz, still undefeated, still with the best defence in the league. 2 goals conceded, Union 4 goals conceded. So there you go. There's
ridiculous, isn't it?
The rundown of those two teams. Are we thinking it's taking shape, the league in the Bundesliga?
It's hard to judge, isn't it? Just Dortmund, and I still think there's just something about Stuttgart for me. I don't know if this is just a personal kind of bias because we both want to do so well. I still think Stuttgart can get further up there.
Yeah.
Dortmment, I don't know.
What I think about Dortmund.
Dortmund, I don't know. It's literally the carbon copy of last year, where.
Yeah.
What are they? What kind of team are they?
What are they?
What are they? Are they a genuine top 3 Bundesliga side? Are they just going to be a top 4 team? Are they a top 6 team? I have no idea. Because you see Guirassy play and you see that first half against Real Madrid and you think, wow.
Yeah, they're on fire.
But then you see the first half against Stuttgart and the first half against, was it Union? Union? And you're like... this team is very, very average. So
they don't travel.
Yeah.
They do not travel. And again, we say they've lost a lot of older statesmen.
The experience. But
it's not like it's some Stuttgart young side or like I think at the Premier, not like a Bournemouth side where they're really, really young. This is it's still established at Pascal Gross, Emre Can.
There's established. Just Bundesliga foot,
Heuveling,
Anton and Schlotterbeck. They've been in the league for a long time.
It's no excuse.
Garassi's been Mallet. Like these players have all been there. It's not,
It's
and the youngsters. You know, Byron Gittins has been.
Yeah, it's 2.5 years
players.
now.
Yeah. So
they're missing Adiemi big time.
Oh, big time.
That's such a big loss.
Yeah, he's a big loss because he was cooking. I think they beat. Was it Heidenheim when they beat them like 4-1?
Heidenheim, and then they went and got beat Celtic 7.
Yeah, and that's when you thought.
Yeah,
but then obviously he got injured. So yeah, I don't know, but I think it's starting to take close to it. Like, can Freiburg sort of they're third? Can
Could they hold on?
Can they hold on? Frankfurt, I think, have slipped a little.
I think they've almost dropped into where they should be, and they're sitting where they.
But they've had Bayern and then.
Yeah,
you know,
and then they had Leverkusen.
So, and the Bayern game was, we were applauding them because they were brilliant that game. And then the Leverkusen, it's not like they were outplayed. It's just Leverkusen, just a class above.
Just black magic again, the dark arts again.
The dark arts, it is. With Andrić scoring screamers. So.
I look at it, so maybe it is taking place. So Bayern's top,
yeah.
And you look at goals for and goals against. I think that sort of sums up to 24 goals for.
Their goal difference.
Yeah, so that's their identity. Attacking football, Elise, Kane, Gnabry, Sane, that's their identity. Leipzig, 11 goals scored, but only 2 conceded. So defensive identity, starting to progress forward, but clean sheets to their identity. Freiburg, 12 goals scored, 8 conceded. We sort of think they'll slip down.
They'll probably slip a little,
belong. So I'm going to give it a pass. Leverkusen is 18 goals scored, 13 conceded. That is literally the dark arts in its prime form there. How are they are? We don't know, but that's them. Union Berlin, 8 goals scored, 4 conceded.
Yeah, they're the one that...
Defence.
They're defending well. So.
Nixon goals, that's their identity. Frankfurt, 15 goals scored, 11 conceded, but it's the goals, right? That's their style of football. Dortmund, 14 scored, 12 conceded. Like, what are you?
Yep.
Like, what's the team? You said it's a great question. What is Dortmund? Because for 45 minutes versus Real, I guess we can touch on that game a bit here. Like,
incredible.
I thought Real were gone. I didn't think Real were gone because I know what Real can do.
Yeah, they always do it.
But you look at it and think, how are Real going to do this now?
Because of how well Dortmund were playing as well.
And you thought, okay, this is Dortmund of the champion. Maybe Dortmund's a Champions League team. They'll be fine. They just capitulated. They fell apart.
Absolutely capitulated, yeah.
It was an implosion of the almighty...
Like 5 goals and a half. I mean, that just goes to show defensively. Despite all the signings, like Kuta, I don't think he's barely played, but Anton at the back.
Pascal Gross in midfield.
Pascal Gross, it's just it's very weird why they haven't been consistent for 2 years. It's very weird.
And I still reckon the manager sacking was such a strange call.
Was that a sacking or or did he just resign?
Well, I thought the whole thing was for
Hummels
Hummels to stay.
Right? Yeah, it was a sacking, wasn't it?
I think in the end it was a sacking.
Yeah.
So I thought for Hummels to stay here to go, that was what was being reported. Maybe it was a cover up for something else. Because in the end, no one stayed. And they're worse for it now because I love Anton, but he's really struggling this season.
He looks fucking a quarter of the player he was last year.
It's one of those cases again. If Ito and Anton had been at Stuttgart, they could have been flying. Garassi back.
They all stayed. Yeah. Garassi's doing well. Like his assist last night was really, really good. This morning was unbelievable to Malin.
He's been
and he's been scoring goals, but
he's been the best by a long way in that team.
A long way. I don't even know who would be their second best player. Adiemi, but he's obviously been injured.
Fit players. I can't think of many up there.
For me, Julian, I go on about him a lot. Julian Brand he's a big disappointment for me.
Yeah, not liking it.
He sums up Dortmund. Like, what is he? What sort of player is he? Like, he plays as their number 10. He plays every game, and he just feels like he's just there. He's just there as a player.
Yeah,
he just feels a hole. And as a number 10, you can't do that.
Can't fill a hole.
You either have to be amazing off the ball, like a Szoboszlai, for example. He doesn't get the goals, or you have to be incredible on the ball, like your Wirtz or your Musialas. Yeah. And he's none of that. So
I can back that. I can back that. I don't mind him on his day, but he's too inconsistent.
He's too inconsistent.
Some of their team. Maybe he's just a reflection of that team. Yeah. We went totally off topic from RB Leipzig. That was the point of the conversation.
Leipzig, they've been good.
They've been good. No, but I'll tell you what, I was excited with this game because my brother, Xavi Simons.
Finally. That was Xavi Simons.
What a goal.
That was Xavi Simons.
Little
that was the player of the season. Yeah. Xavi Simons that I wanted.
That's what I was predicting. That's what I wanted to do this season. Yeah. That turn around the corner, skip past the defenders.
That's what.
Nutmeg the keeper.
We thought we'd see a lot more of that. So hopefully it doesn't start tomorrow morning when we play them. But hopefully it's a sign of things to come. Because it feels like he's just kind of.
I feel like they've all treaded water at Leipzig.
Yeah.
Everyone other than the back
They've
four.
been
obviously.
very much under, like, no one's really talking about them at all.
That's the thing.
Because we know that they're supposed to be this high-scoring team.
What happened to the 5 or 6 they're scoring games?
Exactly.
Like,
with their attacking talent as well, like Openda, Sesko, Simmons.
I've got a bone to pick with Sesko in this game.
Oh my God!
Was it? It was Arsenal signing.
He is
Arsenal
on
are
fraud
licking their lips. They didn't sign this guy because
that 60 million release clause, whatever he had, teams are like,
thank God
we avoided one there.
For Man United fans,
the second one-on-one he had was bad enough. Like in the middle of the goal, you hit it straight at him. But the first one, I mean, that
he
is
had time,
and he had Simmons. Like,
he had Simmons as well.
He didn't just have time; he had Simmons with the entire right-hand side free, and it's
bad.
If you're the Leipzig coach, I think you got to drop this guy. I know he might be important structurally and stuff like that, but go with Openda and get Simmons through the middle, get him involved more.
Little false nine, almost like a.
So I know they play a sort of 4-3-3 kind of thing with Haidara and I think it was Veerman through the middle as well. But Sesko's killing them at the minute. He's just missing a lot of chances.
That's not been good for a long time either.
So that was. I think if you were to do that, I would love for him to drop him because that's just you can't be doing that, especially with a team that so far hasn't scored a lot.
That's the thing.
So,
I think it was the first time they looked good going forward, but again, they didn't put 4 past 9, so we're not a really impressive team. They
do look very good though. You got to give credit where it's due. Defensively, they've looked the best they've probably ever looked.
I'm about to say, if this is just the way they're going forward now, I got to give them respect.
Yeah.
I'm expecting some ridiculous turn when they start scoring 5 and conceding 2 in a game, but maybe this is the way they go forward.
If it's more sustainable in terms of they'll finish higher in the league, get closer to Bayern and Leverkusen, then we're all here for it.
You're going to back that in.
Again, we have to see a few more sort of weeks, months of this.
Absolutely. So. Tell you what, it's quite funny. We did Champions League predictions last night for the set of games. I'm like, Juve and Leipzig are the 2 best defences in Europe. Yet they had a 3-2 classic last night of the Champions League. And I'm like, who's predicting that?
Who's predicted that? No one. That would have been like a 1-0 or like a 1-1 or a 0-0.
I think everyone 0-0. I was being bold last in the prediction. I went 1-1 between the two of them. But, I wouldn't be surprised if 0-0. And they put 5 goals in the game.
Maybe this is the Liverpool-Leipzig's the 0-0 or the 1-1. 2 good defences going at it. Maybe
2 elite
maybe this is it. So,
it'd be an interesting watch. Again, Leipzig's one of those watches for me in the, build-up standpoint. How are they going to...
I think when they lose a game, I think then we'll know after that.
What are they all about?
Yeah.
Be interesting to see, and especially see Xavi Simons, Openda and Sesko go up top.
But good on them. They lost their most creative player, so they're still
cooking.
Still doing good.
Fair play to them. All right, before we get finish up in France, let's go to our last segment of today. Our 10 underappreciated players. This is what I'm going to call. I'm going to give away my first one. I'm going to call this the Valverde segment.
Oh, nice.
Because it just came to mind because I was watching some of the performances he's had in recent weeks. I think we had to a Valverde.
I probably should have put him actually. Shit.
I've told him Valverde's underappreciated players. He, for me, is the definition of the segment. I must talk about him. The cog, the hard worker, the get shit doneer.
Yeah.
The one that's not all Galactico, but does the lot for this Real Madrid side. So he, for me, is so underappreciated and forever will be. So he's my number 1 player in this segment here.
Brilliant. My number 1 is Danny Parejo from Villarreal. This guy's got a bad name and doesn't get spoken about because of his trash walkout FIFA card where everyone gets him, but it's like, this walkout again, and it's Parejo. But this guy, his longevity, his football IQ, and his football ability in general is so underappreciated. Mm-hmm. Like I think he's made his 500th appearance. I think in La Liga, which is ridiculous. Won the Europa League, has been a part of a couple of successful sides in Villarreal and Valencia as well when they were good. So I think this guy is so underappreciated and doesn't get. I mean, no one speaks about this guy, and he's made 500 La Liga appearances, won the Europa League, and it's not like he's playing for Real Madrid or Barca. Nah. Like he's fighting and scrapping with these teams. So
absolutely,
yeah,
I can back that. that could be one I could have put in. I'll go. I'll say in La Liga. Again, I went my two basic ones out there. Really. I went Danny Carvajal as well.
Nice.
One because they're gonna miss. I think they're gonna miss him a lot.
Yeah, Vasquez.
Because I saw
he'll score more, but defensively.
I tell you what, but Vasquez was it? I think it was the last league game. So important for them. He set up a goal. I'm thinking like, that's just Danny Carvajal reincarnated. But I think we'll see how much they'll miss him defensively and leadership wise while he's out. He's obviously going to be up there for the Ballon d'Or debate as well. Interesting that's next week. Interesting where he sort of lands with all the votes there. Again, similar to Pereira in the fact that he won a European Championship with Spain, but no one really talked about him until afterwards, until they realised what he'd done for that side. Same with Real. I think he was massive in that the two semi-final legs versus Bayern, and then in the final versus Dortmund as well. It's so hard, and that's why these players that's great players, and they're probably appreciated, but you feel like they're unders at Real because you talk about Mbappe, Vini, Bellingham, Kroos,
so many names,
that you forget Carvajal and Valverde, so I feel like you just have to talk about these type of players. So I've got Danny Carvajal in there 100%. As well.
I'll stay in the league as well. I went with Unai Simon. I know he hasn't played this year because I thought, was it like a hand injury or something? I think he's got at the minute. Wrist, I think it's his wrist.
Yes,
So he hasn't played at the minute this season. So I just think, look, he was unbelievable at the Euros, unbelievable last year for Bilbao, which is, he was one of the main reasons to why they're one of the best defences in La Liga. I'm hearing shouts that Raya should now be the starting keeper for Spain. And he's been ridiculous this season, but this guy's done nothing wrong. You can't drop him. He's been ridiculous. So I think Bilbao struggled at the start of the season. I think he was a big part of that.
100%.
They've come back nicely now, but I think he's underappreciated as well.
That's too great. I'll back that in. I've got a third from La Liga. I've only got one from France. So I went Miguel Gutierrez from Girona.
Nice.
Probably the last man standing sort of vibe. Like everyone's either injured or been sold.
I think he scored overnight.
I think he scored overnight, and he put in a 2 or 3 games ago, which was fantastic. And it's been grim. Like, I got to be honest, I don't really watch Girona anymore because it's really hard to watch. But
I've watched a bit here and there.
When you see them play, it's sort of like when Man United play and Rashford's in good form. Like, things just happen. Like, when Gutierrez gets the ball, it's just like, what's going to happen? Who's going to get in the end of a ball? When's he going to score? How's he going to set up someone else? It's like, wow. And for a 23-year-old, yes, we talked about him a little bit last season, but it's all on Dovbyk and Savinho and Sagankov up top. It was not, and even Alex Garcia. We talk about Gutierrez. He's still there. And again, if clubs are wanting that more progressive fullback,
Man United, I was going to say,
at left back as well.
Have to get him.
You might get him for a bag of chips as well because it's going to go under the radar. He might not stand out because of how bad Girona will be, I think, or up and down Girona will be this season. But every time I watch them, and looking back at last season, we never talked in Gutierrez.
Yeah, we probably didn't talk about him enough at all.
Yeah, I really love what he's doing.
So.
Even Couto, right back. We didn't actually we didn't do a left back.
There's too many names, mate. There's too many good players.
You can name 11 of them.
And the thing with Girona, they're not going to ask for an absurd price for him.
No.
Like Savinho went for 25, 30 mil.
Yeah. The only problem is that Etihad owned.
True. But even Dovbyk, he went for 30.
Yeah. Which is big unders.
Massive unders for a guy that's brilliant. He's a good player. Yeah. So I think, he'll probably be around the Dovbyk price, 30 mil for a 23, 24-year-old Spanish left back. Jesus.
That's capable. Very capable.
Exactly. They can play in a back three or
back three, back four, whatever you want to
So
play.
I'll go to the Prem. I've gone with Danny Welbeck.
Same here.
Yeah.
That boy Danny.
I had to. I mean, this guy is just, he's been in the league for so long, and he's been so consistent. Mm-hmm. This year he's been. I mean, when you think guys like Ferguson are coming through, and it's just Danny Welbeck's that guy, and will continue to be that guy until he says he's not. To be honest, until he retires. So, already 5 goals this year. Yeah, his performances have been ridiculous. His hold up play, I think, has improved every year.
Oh,
his hold up play this year's been insane, and he's been brilliant for that club. To be honest, he's been perfect for what Brighton need at that striker position. With, Minter and Matoma that will just burn you for pace. You got a guy that can hold the ball up and will score goals.
Absolutely.
And he's love him.
I can back that in 100%. He's a guy that gets better with age.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
What is he, like 33, 32
something
now?
like that. Yeah.
It feels like he's been that age for like 5 years. It's like Thomas Muller.
Yeah.
Like, the guy just doesn't age.
He just doesn't age. And he got 100 goal contribution Premier League on the weekend with his goal. I think he did go off injury, which I'm a little bit worried about. I have to look into that.
Oh, shit.
But I think to your point, I've always talked about his interplay, like his connection has been, I think, always a really important part of his game that never was really appreciated at United. Definitely got used more at Arsenal.
Yep.
Couldn't do it at Watford because of how poorly that side was. But then in a Brighton system that actually works around him, I think it's been the perfect club. If he was there the whole time, he could have been one of the Premier League greats in terms of numbers. And I think as well, clinical edge in front of goal. It was something that you could almost hold against him. He wasn't really that out-and-out finisher. But now, like you said, 5 goals already in the Premier League. When he gets a half chance or a chance...
He gives me Jermaine Defoe vibes.
I was about to say, if he was a little bit younger... Because I'm pretty sure Jermaine Defoe's in the top 10 for Premier League goals.
Defoe's like obviously a better player.
Yeah.
But just like the impact he's had at the clubs and stuff, it's just,
I need 5-6 touches and can change a game.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the player. So, yeah, 100%. I can absolutely back that in. You got your next one?
Yeah, because you have Welbeck
as well, yeah.
I'll stay in the Prem. I went with Ole Aina.
I like it.
A guy that can play left back or right back against the big teams. I mean, against Liverpool, from what I saw, he was ridiculous against Salah.
Shown down.
I saw all like people commenting how good he was. Like, he was ridiculous. So versatile. And again, part of a Forest backline that has been, I think they've got the second best defensive record in the league.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Which is ridiculous. So I was very close to putting Nuno just underappreciated in general, because the job he's done there, I think, has been amazing. With that, everyone talks about the forward line as well, but I think guys like him, I was close with Milenkovic as well. I think he's come in.
I had him in, but I'm like, I think people had an idea
at the Euros and stuff. I think people started to talk about him, but I think he's a very underrated fullback in the Prem. Very underrated.
This is for me. I don't know if I'm really clutching at straws here because they haven't gone well, but I'm going Will Hughes.
Nice.
Palace.
No, I like it.
Again, as the Palace Perth local fan club leader here. They're having a tough season, but every time Will Hughes steps on that pitch, something happens. Like you would
hate to play against him.
He breaks the game up. He's good for a yellow card, but he's smart about it. And I think, and this sounds a bit soft, but like I remember watching Ben Foster's like goalie, Cameron the goal, and when Will Hughes was sold, he said that was like a dagger in the heart at the club. And it was a big
I remember that. Yes,
how much impact Will Hughes had. I'm like, okay.
He's a funny bloke as well.
Yeah, he's good for a good bit of shit out and a good bit of banter. And all right, Ben, calm down, Chief. Then I've seen him at Palace, came in, never really settled. And then last year, especially alongside Wharton, and then the start of this year where Wharton's really struggled, he's been the guy. And like whenever he's fit, again, a guy's not always fit, but when he's there, breaking the game up. And he's really good for just a long ping, like a diagonal ping across the ground. I think even against you guys against Liverpool, he comes on, and all of a sudden Palace on the front foot. Because he wins the ball.
When he came on, he was actually the one that sort of changed the game. When people were actually like, maybe Palace are actually all right. And I was like, Will Hughes came on and look at the difference he made.
Exactly.
He's just one of those midfielders where I'm going to mention a guy now. You'd hate to play against him because he's so consistent and he just knows
they're just bastards.
Yeah, they are. They're ruthless, man. They're ruthless, yeah.
But I absolutely love him.
That's good.
I'm chucking him in there for me.
I'll go the Championship. A guy I'd say is kind of a little bit similar to Will Hughes. I'll go with Josh Brownhill. Mentioned him earlier. He's playing the way a captain should be playing right now. I think he's got 6 goal contributions for Burnley as a sort of box-to-box centre mid DM. I think that's very impressive in a league like the Championship. He's been really good for Burnley this year. He's sort of held the fort down while all the transfers have happened and sort of the team's been coming together. So I think Scott Parker's absolutely loving him in midfield. And
you've lapped that up.
Yeah, so 100%. He's been really good.
Let me go to Syria. I could change my list really late here, but no, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to Jan Sommer in goal. There's a lot of goalkeepers I want to put in from Syria, I'll be honest with you. But again, I think you know they said that they're thinking of maybe potentially changing the keeper because they brought, I don't know if you said it or somewhere, I've read somewhere, I think they brought a keeper in or a pre-transfer. So they're trying to move on from Sommer. But we saw in multiple games this season, he just continues to save them. Whenever they're stretched, whenever they don't look quite right and they haven't looked quite right this season, he's there to make the big saves, the double saves. And someone that's never really chucked a fuss went to Bayern, did, I think, a really, really solid job there in a really weird time for Bayern at that club. Then he went to Inter and done a fantastic job in their successes. Think about back to him in the Bundesliga originally. Didn't put a foot wrong.
Unbelievable at Gladbach.
Yeah, like I cannot remember a time where he actually made a mistake.
I'm actually shocked a big club didn't come in for him when he was sort of. I know Bayern did eventually, but I think that was a free transfer.
And that was just the cover of for Neuer.
Yeah, exactly.
That literally was. I just don't understand why he hasn't got more respect. And even international wise, he's been fantastic. It's a massive penalty shootout moments. I love him, and I think not enough talked about him, so I've got him.
I think when it comes to my top 10 keepers, I think it'll be hard for me to not have him in there.
Yeah,
I think he's ridiculous. I'll go to Serie A as well. I've gone with Zemmer Anguissa.
Yeah.
I just think, just one of those players. He's probably been Napoli's best midfielder for 3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
I know last year wasn't great, but when they won the league, he was ridiculous. Yeah. This year, they're top of the league, and he's been ridiculous. And he's been the constant that Conte's and every manager that they've had has kept in there.
Yeah.
Like Lobotka's sort of been moved on for Gilmore and McTominay coming in. I just think Anguissa, he's one of those. He does a bit of everything. Yeah, he can carry the ball.
Yeah, stop gap.
Good defensively. Yeah,
does everything.
Does the jobs.
Yeah, rated beat. I've always thought, will he take the next step? And I feel like Do you
think this is his level? Or do you think he could go to like?
I think this is his level, but if any years he's going to stand up, you'd want him this year to be that.
Yeah, 100%.
To carry that midfield.
Yep.
I went against someone who I've previously mentioned on the show. I went Federico Gatti as an unappreciated player. Yeah. With Bremer going down. Obviously, last night was just a shit show for you. I'm not gonna touch it.
That didn't happen.
Let me forget about that.
This was filmed before.
Yeah, this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday recording, not Wednesday recording. No, he's been fantastic for me. What game was it that stood out? Was it Genoa?
There was one away where he did that block, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, now he's really standing out.
Yeah,
to me.
I know the game.
And things like that. When you have to only watch snippets of, because you can't watch all the games, or you can't watch them. Stuff like that stands out to you, and it makes an impact. And he's taken the arm out, I think, in some games as well. All in all, someone that not talked about enough. And for a Juve side that, Motta's going to make big changes. Like you said, there's some young stars in there. Maybe Zertsky looks like he's going to Juve as well now. Like Motta likes certain types of players, so to fit in a Motta team and be a central cog and figure to it, I think is really important. I think his performances have showed that he's been fantastic.
It's interesting you say him. I was debating between him and Kalulu, who was brought in.
Very good.
Brought in for like $4 million, I think it was.
Nothing.
And when Bremer went down, like what you said, I thought the defense might be exposed, might show some vulnerability. But him and Gatti have been. There hasn't been any change really.
No.
They've been ridiculous, and I've heard a lot of Juve fans online. Like I follow them on Instagram, and all the comments. I have to like translate them and shit. But everyone goes on about Kalulu and how good he's been for them. Yeah. So I thought, it's between him and Gatti, but we've spoken about Gatti a little bit. I thought you might have him as well. So I was like, I'd go Kalulu. But
it was former from AC, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a loan with an option or if they bought him straight.
I hope for Milan's sake it's a loan because that's an awful deal for them.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't think he was a $4 million
Oh, no
player.
way. I don't know what's happened there. Just
Unless I just don't know ball, but I
sure
he was a better footballer.
Poor transfer strategy. But yeah, he's come in and he's been really good. It's almost ridiculous. Like, obviously Bremer's a huge loss. He was probably one of the best defenders in the world, best defender in Serie A.
Serie A last season,
for the start of the season. But yeah, you couldn't tell.
No,
it's not defensively they've struggled. It's been scoring goals all year they've struggled. So yeah.
I can back that in big time. I'm going to do my one Ligue 1 player. I couldn't get into my breakout teams, so I put him in this one here. I think this is a player we'll have to learn the name of very quickly. At least Ben Seguir from Monaco.
Nice.
He's been dangerous in some of the games I've been watching of them. Really unlucky. Took an assist. We'll go get that game just after this here on the weekend because the other striker was pathetic. Some of his finishing. But this guy, I think he's a real deal. I'm pretty sure 21 years old, youngster, come through their academy. But every time I watch Monaco play, he makes stuff happen. I keep coming back to this guy. Obviously, Greenwood's killing it right now in Ligue 1. And the way that he just sparks into life is very similar to how Ben Seguir is doing it at Monaco. So I'm interested in how this guy goes. There's a lot of really raw talent right now. But if he continues the way he's going, gets a few more outputs to back it up in this stat world we live in, I won't be surprised if he becomes a top player.
Good shout. Very good shout. I went with Lee, came in from PSG.
Yeah.
He's one of those, because of all the attacking talent that PSG have, he never really gets a run of games.
Yeah.
But when he's come on as a sub this year, I think he's got 4 goals from his appearances as a sub. So again, he's playing his role for the team, and he's going to be underappreciated because of your Barcolas and Dembélés and Kolo Muani's, and their midfield's obviously stacked. So he'll never get a run of games. But if the fact that he's coming on, as a sub and scoring goals and having an impact, I think it probably won't ever get talked about. Yeah. But he's one that probably deserves a run in the team. 100%. But with the attacking talent, he won't get it, so which is unfortunate.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to get emotional. We're talking about my man here, Robert Andrich. That's he's still not talked about. I'm going to keep banging on about him until
no one else does.
Talks
so we
about
may as well.
Seriously, Xabi Alonso, stop dropping this guy. He's ridiculous.
Just play him, yeah.
Goals are now in his game. I still think him and Xhaka as a combination.
When they play together.
Why don't they play them 100% of the time? I don't get it. Alex Garcia's a fantastic player. Play him at the 10 and put Verts out on the left if you really have to rotate. These two are
Don't shuffle awesome. Don't move that. Yeah, agree.
I don't get it. And I don't get why people don't talk about him either, because I think in terms of consistency, this guy hasn't dropped below a 6 out of 10, I don't think, in the last
maybe even
12.
A 7.
Yeah, even a 7. He just does the small things, man. Like he does that. I'm not saying he's Rodri, but he does the Rodri type things where he picks the ball up and down. He always covers off that back line when Xhaka wants to go and wander for a long shot or something like that. He's there to cover off. And as I said, I think 2 weeks ago, whenever he's not there, it feels there's a massive hole in his side. So until people start talking about him consistently, and there's been a few murmurs on social media, but I'll ride that bandwagon.
He does the things that don't come up on the stats sheet. And people look at the stats with the Bundesliga and go, Andrich, he's just there. The Xhaka carries him. They're 1-2.
He's the guy, man. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
The guy.
Good shout. I want to give some goalkeeper love. I went with Galacci from Leipzig.
Valid.
I think he's been at that club for a long time. He's been consistent. He's just been a great goalkeeper, part of a really good defence at the minute. I just think he's a really underappreciated goalkeeper for a very long time, to be honest. Because he's never really had a bad spell of form.
Yeah.
He's just always been a very good Bundesliga goalkeeper.
Would you put him as a top 15 in the world? Because would he break in top 10? Would he?
He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't be top 10. I don't think. I think he'd be top 20, top 15. He might sort of around the 15 to 20, maybe in the 13, 14.
He's never been bad, has he? Yeah. He's always been just really solid and does a job. I'm gonna make the last minute change. I had 11 on my list. I'm gonna pick it because I feel like, again, goalkeeper love. Go on, David De Gea.
Nice. Yes. Who was the other one?
I was thinking about putting the guy's name, Reuty, the Union player.
Yeah.
Okay. However everyone pronounce it. Sorry, because I had players who I had on the other list that I didn't want to carry over.
I like that. Yeah, De Gea.
But I had 11 for a reason because De Gea's not totally underappreciated, but I think everyone just slagged him off.
Yeah,
I think it's a Ten Hag effect. He discarded him. Everyone thought he was washed.
Yeah.
He's still. It's going to be interesting when I get to the goalkeepers list because I'm going to have to really think hard about it because some of the stuff he's been doing.
When are we doing it? When are we doing goalkeepers?
I think we're match day 15 is when we start our list because that will carry us towards the end of the season. So we've got some time. But if he puts together some heroic European performances, if they play a big side between now and then.
Hell, he's in the conversation already, to be honest.
Man.
The 2 penalty saves.
Come on. I don't understand bias. And Tots will probably be somewhere saying, I told you so. But it's just ridiculous. And I sort of get sad. I'm like, this guy was at the club. He won a golden glove. He won a golden glove in the Premier League and then just dipped. Not because of it. And I don't like the way that he demanded his wages because we could have seen him play last season, at least. Because this role he could have been playing now could have been done last season for a Girona or maybe a Stuttgart or something like that. If he took a lesser fee, you could have been seeing him at one of these clubs. So, again, he obviously he's an appreciated player, but I think it's almost like it's a remember how good he is. We've almost become to underappreciate him because we've missed him for a year and a half, 2 years. So, it's great to have him back.
Oh, that's
And I
good.
actually love
It's again, everyone. I think everyone's gone for Fiorentina at the moment.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to see De Gea do well.
And everybody hates Ten Hag. Absolutely love
Pretty
him.
much,
as
yeah.
well.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm loving it. So yeah, but I still want him in the job.
Yeah,
Let's just clarify that.
Just to
I
keep
hate him. But I want him
down
in the job.
the fraud Dutch bold person in the league. Yeah, keep him down there.
My last one, I've gone with Pavlovic from Bayern. I know he's just. I think he's going to be injured for a long time. I think he's just broken his collarbone.
Yeah, had surgery.
So he's going to be out for a long time. But I wanted to get him in because a lot of the talk's been about Elise, Kane, Kimmich, and rightly so, right? Because they've been ridiculous this season. But Pavlovic he always plays. Even last year, going back to Tuchel, he played in the big games. He comes up with goals here and there. Only like 20, 21 years old, and he's constantly playing for Bayern. Like, I think he's very underappreciated, and no one really talks about him. There's at least sort of, you'd probably pick 10 other names before him. If you were to go through the starting lineup, you would say the other 10, and then you'd list him. Yeah. But I think he's probably one of their most important players, to be honest.
Damn, that's a good one. I should have put that in because I've been watching him pretty close, and I was really upset about the injury. And he was putting together some big performances leading up to the injury, like some game-changing type performances.
I think that's like 3 months, that injury, a collarbone.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure surgery, obviously, is going to be a real big karma because you have to rehab it all. And
maybe even longer, yeah.
Such a physical position in the six as well.
That's a big hole they're going to have to fill. Because
they
don't really change that midfield.
No.
Palini's, this is his chance.
This is his chance to prove he's worth that money. So, need to come in and nail it on. There you go. That was a lot of fun. I like that.
That was good, yeah. I like that. I like talking about unders. Yeah.
Not the overs, the unders.
Yeah, not the overs. Not the overs.
Well, next week, if we are going to do the fall off or like the wasted career 11, that's going to be toxic as hell. Best fall off XI.
That'd be crazy, man. Oh, that'd be crazy.
It's the ultimate hate watch.
Literally, yeah.
Ten Hag manager and just check all of those.
Should name like 10 United players.
United starting 11 just rolls out. All right, let's finish up quickly. In France, I was so keen for this Monaco-Lille game, but it ended 0-0. As I said,
very boring.
It was Ekalucci, the guy who came on and just butchered 2 chances in front. Like one was basically on the goal line. I think they said later on was offside, but still he missed it literally from the goal line. And then Ben Seguir wins the ball back, has this crazy good run, sets him up, and he just denied, tried at the keeper. So it's really unfortunate that Monaco couldn't go over the line, despite getting down to 10 men. Teza sent off. First time his career got a red card. That was a horrible challenge.
Horrible, yeah. It
was like
bad.
Chest high the boot went. So that was a brain fade there. So he was sent off in the hour mark. Yeah, just on the 60th minute. But they got better as the game went on. Monaco, despite getting down to 10 men. 5-1 win last night at Champions League. They're a watch. Equal and top with PSG now.
20 points each, I think. I think Marseille are 3 points.
Another 17, behind. I think, yeah. It's good.
Finally, we have a title race. Hopefully, well.
Oh, jeez, please.
Jesus,
please.
I shouldn't have said it.
Next week, both teams get battered by.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't have said it. Yeah, but no, so far, I mean, both Monaco and Marseille have been good. Particularly Monaco, I just did not expect this at all. I sort of thought they'd be around the kind of.
Their team's not impressive.
Like even finished third, but like 20 points off.
Yeah,
to be
well
honest.
and truly off.
But yeah, they've been good, not conceding a lot of goals.
Yep.
Scoring a lot on the other end. Minamino's just come back. He's been good. Also got Balogun. So, Kerr at the back. the
revival of Timo Kerr.
So, they're a watch. So
definitely a watch in there. Yeah. And obviously Marseille, we mentioned the score 5 goals for Montpellier. Montpellier Cones versus Marseille's superstars.
They are.
Wahi again on the score sheet.
Yeah.
He scored first. Harriet then roofed the ball in the net to hit the second goal. Pierre Huibert out of the third.
The slowest goal.
That's when you know it's struggling.
That man only passes the ball backwards and sideways. I thought the shot was going to go backwards. That was the slowest goal, by the way, I've ever seen.
No, when I saw that one going, I'm like, hey, it's...
That's a Huibert goal.
It's a Huibert goal. Greenwood, classic, crossed a goal. Goal in the 58th minute to make it 4-0. And then Enrique said, I'll have a piece of that as well.
Yeah.
5-0, 73 minutes, all wrapped up. I can't say much because Montpellier were awful, but...
They were dog shit.
This is just Marseille. I felt that they're going to batter some teams.
Oh, yeah.
But they're going to give you those real, what will happen performances as well. Because they just had to slow down in recent weeks, I think we'd said. and this was sort of like a bounce back.
Their wins have been mental this season. Their first game of the season was electric.
Yep,
they win that controversial drama-filled one against Leon with the last-minute goal, the red card, the penalties, and then they just flogged Montpellier. I think they had was there a 3-3 or a 2-2 draw in there somewhere?
So 5-0 versus Montpellier. Then they previously drew to Angers, both sides getting a red card. It was that crazy game.
Yeah, that crazy one.
They then lost to Strasbourg the game before that. It's just...
I mean, this is them. Some of the players they've got that are just, Hoiberg and Rabiot's there now.
Yeah, he's there as well.
They're kind of just picking up sort of rejects here and there. But De Zerbi's making them tick. And when you got a guy like Greenwood who... his talent is wasted in this league. I mean, what kind of move can he get? Can he join a big club? Can he
I think the Spanish clubs would go him.
Yeah.
If Barca want to stay,
he wouldn't cook at Atletico Madrid. He'd be dog shit there because he would be playing fucking right wing back. Right
him
back.
and Llorente on top of each other.
Instead of Griezmann in the 6-yard box, it's Griezmann and Greenwood in there. So
I can see Barca having a punt.
With Lamar, Yamal.
And just having him as a striker, and they just go Yamal.
Yeah, I mean he can finish both.
Yamal, Rafinha, and Greenwood up top. Because Greenwood will eventually end up as a striker, but he's too good both feet.
Mm.
The problem is he's not really a hold up type guy. But
I don't know what La Liga club would take him. Bilbao have got the Williams brothers.
Well, Inaki's coming to the end surely. How old is he now? 30 something.
Is he in his 30s? I thought
he's in his 30s.
Like kind of late 20s.
Inaki Williams, I'm sure.
Damn. He has been around for a long time.
He's doing the dot. You're right. He's not that old.
To be fair, I thought he was 25, 26, 27.
There's a chance FA rotation there at least.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, Greenwood's better than
Inaki
Williams. I don't know what I'm about. So.
I think the most strikers in that league is just about, do you play him up top or do you play him on the right?
He'd start for a lot of clubs, man. Would you take Greenwood over Dembele at PSG?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think Dembele is just a poo footballer. He's just an average footballer. Has some amazing moments, don't get me wrong. He has some great moments in his day.
But man doesn't score.
But flick a coin, hope it lands on heads and hope he turns up. It's just what you do with him.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's another week wrapped up.
Crazy.
Next week will be another Champions League wrap-up week.
Good timing again.
Yeah, we smashed it on the dot again. We'll rake out Champions League again next week. We'll do a little 5 things.
Yeah, because next week's Carabao Cups and stuff, isn't it?
So we'll do a bit of that. Wrap this week's of Champions League up. I think we should do the fall-off or the...
we can do that,
the fall-off
that'll be good. That'll be a funny one.
Yeah, it'd be a bit fun. Just taking the mick out of some players.
Both past and present fall-offs.
Past and present fall-off.
Could have I don't know. Could have Januzaj, for example.
Fucking Januzaj.
But yeah, that would be funny.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, we might do that next week. Have a bit of fun, and then we'll have a more serious segment there as well.
Yeah.
There should be some. I think there's a big game in La Liga to talk about next week as well. But
is the El Clasico on?
Is it Clasico? Maybe it is.
Because I think Rodrigo's injured. I think I just saw it. I think he's injured.
Oh, I missed the chance again. Come on, 11. I just stuffed that up.
Is it Rodrigo or someone from Madrid's injured? They've got a lot of injuries at the minute. So
we'll have to.
A couple of big games on this week.
Yeah, I think La Liga definitely has a lot going on, so we'll have a lot to cover hopefully next week as the games get a bit more exciting post-international break. Thank you for jumping on, man.
All good.
It's good to be back on a Thursday.
Yeah, now till the next international break, we'll hopefully
the Christmas
every week should be
get
into episode 100, which will be
close.
Very
close to that. It's exciting. If you're on Spotify, 5 stars, Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. You know the drill by now. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Get us to 2K. The road to 2K is starting now. Until next week, guys. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.